Namaste. Welcome to the Friday Flow. This is a great practice really to do anytime, and especially as we get into the holidays. So it's all about heart opening, which we all could use a little more of. I've had a rough week, and you find that when you run into obstacles or things aren't going well, or in my case, my Doberman ate through a box and plastic in a glass jar and had to go into surgery, that you get closed off. So just inevitably with life's uh, occurrences and situations. So this practice is a great heart opening. It's also good for anyone that's working at a computer, driving, all of us that have texting necks and thumbs that we kind of close off and are forward rounded in our shoulders. So as far as the props for today's class, if you can grab a towel or a blanket, we'll use them for a couple different applications. But we're going to begin lying down. So we're going to use the blanket or towel, if in that case at home, to open up the chest. So if you can see, I've rolled my blanket into like this rectangle shape. You want it to be in the space between your shoulder blades. So as you can see, I'm going to lay this lower edge of the blanket just on the base of my shoulder blades. So just on that lower rim, my shoulders are free, my arms can go wide so that you feel that the chest starts to open. And then if you need a little bit more support for your head, or if for some reason the head is off the blanket, maybe you want to throw another little support there. Brad, that's way too low. So you need to go all the way up where the base of the blanket is at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Yeah, the bottom of the shoulder blades, so that the head's supported, the low back is free toward the earth, the knees can be bent and the feet are flat, or the legs can go long. Right, so I'll show that again. Let's get some music going, get time to grab your props, and then settle into your space. So just allowing yourself to lie on your mat comfortably at home. Again, the low back is free so that it can extend down toward the mat. The arms, I like them in a goal post or maybe like a Y position so that you can start to feel there's pectoralis major that are the big chest muscles, and then pec minor is a muscle that tends to be really difficult to stretch, but can be tight in a lot of us, especially as we have that forward rounded posture. So as you begin to soften and settle into this space, just take a notice of the physical body so we start to feel the sensations. Remember, this is a practice of going inside, of internal awareness, and we just start to explore. So as we practice mindfulness by being in our body with our breath, it's mindfulness in the present moment without judgment. So just a curious exploration as to what the body is speaking to you today, what it's saying, what sensations you might be feeling. Maybe you feel that the heart is really open today, and that's an incredible spaciousness there in the center of the chest, or maybe you feel a little more clouded or closed off. Just notice there's no rights or wrongs. The beauty about this practice, there is no good or bad or pass fail. It just is a beautiful exploration. So if you notice at this point, if you could be 5 or 10% more comfortable, please adjust your body in a way that feels good. And then settle back in. Feeling the lips as we try to breathe in and out through our nose throughout our yoga practice. And that starts to ignite the parasympathetic nervous system. It allows the breath to be more controlled and slow, conscious breath. I just want you to breathe into the heart space, breathe into the center of the chest, feel that expansion with each and every inhalation. Again, just take notice of the breath here. Notice if it's short or choppy or maybe a little bit more rushed. And we're just going to start to even out the breath flow. So working toward eliminating the pause at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale, but taking some time to get there. So shortening those pauses as we just begin to breathe more fluidly. Today's practice will be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more restorative. So hopefully that's speaking to you right now if you found your way into this video. And then as we begin to even out the breath, notice the quality of the mind. As we start to make that shift from the busyness of the day, the goings on in the external world, and we begin to shift inward, inviting you to close your eyes if you haven't done that, so that we turn off the outside world, right? Our sense of sight, that sense of perception, that jaded screen that we take in information. And with eyes closed, really the possibilities are limitless. We start to blur the lines between you and I, us and them, our energy and the energy of the earth, or the support of the blanket, the support of the mat. And this isn't a practice of pushing away the thoughts or changing or labeling in any way, but just acknowledging the tendencies or the qualities of the mind. And like you would your child, just gently draw the mind back to the breath. Allow that to be the focus of concentration, that kind of anchor for the mind, for the busyness to come back to presence. Just take another generous breath in and take an audible sigh, exhale. Bringing the right arm up over your head, just go ahead and lean to the right, removing the blanket away. Just go ahead and lay on your right side for a moment. Just cradling your head in your hands, just feeling that there. Feeling held and supported, maybe eyes remain closed. Nice. And when you're ready, go ahead and come back onto your back, bending your knees, place your feet flat so that they're about hip distance apart. Bring your hands down by your sides. So I want you to work cat and cow, but we're going to do this in a supine position. So working with the lower belly and the lower back first, I just want you to tip the tailbone up and start to flatten out that space on the low back and just take a few breaths there. Feel as much as the spine pressing into the earth. Feel a gentle hug in of the inner thighs if the knees tend to splay outward. And then gently release the tail. Take a few breaths there. Now, peel up the mid back and the upper back and start to arch like you were coming into cat. So almost flaring the rib cage a little bit, but keep the head, neck, and shoulders down on the earth. Breathe there. So we kind of simulate the cow pose. If you notice that same kind of curvature in the low to mid back. One more breath. Nice. Come back to neutral. We'll do that again. Coming into cat. Again, this time I want you to press down that low back and then almost like you were lifting that tailbone off the mat, press as much of the rest of the rib cage down. Even give yourself almost a double chin as you elongate the neck. Breathe. Feel your feet firmly planted against the earth, the support that you have of the feet. Nice. Release as you come to neutral and then arch the mid and upper back off, keeping the head, neck, and shoulders down. Find that cow variation. Breathe. And then release. Let the back come to neutral. Take the arms out wide like wings. Turn the palms up. Take the feet wide to the edges of the mat. And just windshield wiper the knees to the right. Breathe into the left side rib cage. And then maybe lift the head and gaze to the left. Like I said, just a gentle flow this morning. Just opening the body. The hardest part is done. You've made time for yourself and for your mat and your practice. So honoring that time, the sacrifice, right? Saying yes to something is saying no to something else. So finding the gratitude that you said yes to yourself this morning. Now bring the chin to neutral, so gaze straight up. Bring the knees back in through center, and then take the knees over to the left. Finding just an easy twist there. Maybe lift the head and gaze to the right. Softening the gaze, softening the jaw. And if you ever find yourself lost in thought, just use that as an opportunity to be aware. And then make the shift. Come back to the breath, feel the body. Nice. Chin comes back to neutral, gazing straight up toward the ceiling. Knees come into the center. Hug the knees wide. We're just going to take happy baby prep. So keeping the shins toward the thighs. Take the knees wide outside the rib cage and just give yourself a gentle grip here, softening the tailbone down toward the earth. Finding that nice long spine, even lengthening the neck, dropping the chin slightly so that you feel the cervical spine start to elongate. This little happy baby prep is just a gentle way to get into the hips and groin. Maybe you want to roll the ankles out here. Finding dorsi or plantar flexion through the ankles. And when you're ready, you bring the knees into center. Bring that right arm up over your head for a moment, and then just come over onto your right side. Use your left hand and just come up to a seated posture. All right, so facing me, I want you to take the left shin in front of the right and line the ankles up. So it's like a really kind of wide Sukhasana, maybe moving the butt flesh out of the way so you start to feel the sitting bones grounded. We're gonna take an easy spinal twist, left hand back behind, right hand takes the left knee. Just gentle, dropping the chin slightly, maybe gazing over that left shoulder. Breathe, think length in both side waists as we come through this easy twist. Good, inhale everything back through center. Exhale, relax, hands on palms. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Begin to bow forward over the thighs, walking the fingertips forward. Start to feel into the hips. Another variation of cat and cow here. So I'm tenting my fingers. My palms are off the mat or the floor. My fingertips are rooted into the earth. And I'm going to start to draw my heart forward like cow. Right, drawing the shoulder blades back and together so that I feel the collarbones widen, maybe even looking up if that feels good for the neck. And then initiating the movement from the abdomen, pull the rib cage together, pull the belly in, tuck the chin to the chest, find that angry cat back, that roundness of the spine, separate the shoulder blades, and just take a few breaths here. And as you come back through neutral, look forward. Maybe the forearms can come down to the earth. Maybe the palms come flat, just resting here, letting the head and neck go. Let the shoulders round forward, shaking out the head and neck. Breathing space into the low back. Creating space into the hips. Relaxing any tension through the jaw, separating the teeth, and breathe. Good. Gently walking the hands back. So that left ankle that's in front, I want you to use the left hand, and you're actually just going to step the left foot outside of the left hip and then bring it back behind. So I've got the inner left knee down. I'm kind of coming into this like little herky stretch. You might feel a little bit into the left hip, but I want you to try to sit as upright as possible. So maybe that means you take that blanket, that roll, and you elevate the right hip to try to level yourself off or give you a little support underneath the left hip. Either one would work. You start to feel that you can be grounded and centered. I want you to extend and wiggle those right fingertips out to the right. Good, and then bring the left hand onto the rib cage. Start to lean in like you're trying to expand or press into that left hand. And I want you to breathe into the left side waist. Maybe you wiggle those right fingertips out another inch or two. Breathe into that left side waist. Expanding the serratus muscles, the muscles that line the rib cage. And then eventually, if it feels okay, lift that left arm all the way up and over your head. Turn the left pinky down so that you feel the left shoulder broaden. And then breathe into that left side waist even more. Nice. Take about 3 more deep breaths, expanding through the left side body, opening with each and every breath. Breathe space into the low back. Last full inhale. Last full exhale. Bring the left hand down outside of the left hip. Just take a counter stretch, bringing the right arm up and over. Nice and gentle. Just here for a breath or two. Relaxing the head and neck. And then bring both hands down. Use that left hand just to bring the left knee back in. Maybe bring the fingertips back behind and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Release any tension through the hips or groin. And then we'll line up with that right ankle in front of the left so that my heel and ankle are in line. My knees are a little wider so that you've got some more space. We're going to start with a gentle spinal twist. So right hand comes back behind, left hand takes the right knee. Again, just gently twisting. Dropping the chin down slightly to elongate the back of the neck. And then breathe into both sideways. Notice if you have equal pressure into both sitting bones or if maybe you're leaning off to one side, try to level out the pelvis. A gentle practice here on Friday or whenever you're taking this practice. Always a great practice to come back to. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. As you bring everything back through center, let's take a big deep breath. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Find that forward fold, tenting the fingers, walking the fingertips forward. Just notice the tension that you might feel through the hips and low back. And then pressing the fingertips down, lifting the palms up off the earth. Start to find that cow pose. So drawing the shoulder blades down the back, squeezing them together to broaden the collarbone. Maybe even look up as you pull the heart forward between the plane of the shoulders. Breathe. Let the belly be loose here. And then finding cat pose, press down firmly to the hands. Again, initiating the movement from the belly, pull the rib cage together, tuck the chin to the chest, separate the shoulder blades along the back, breathe here. Shaking out the head, neck, and shoulders, walking the hands back till you sit upright. Use that right hand, lift the right knee, and then extend the right foot back behind. So it's almost like that hurdler stretch. Maybe making space. Again, maybe you want to lift up that left sitting bone or support even some space under the right. Just trying to get as upright as possible, softening through the hips, softening that right ankle. Then you start to extend those left fingertips out to the left, leaning toward the left slightly. It's okay if that right sitting bone is off the mat. And then bring the right hand to the right rib cage. Start to press the rib cage into the hand as you breathe in and expand the ribs. Maybe walk those fingertips out just a few more inches. Opening up the right side of the chest. Breathing and expanding. This is a great way to work the diaphragm, work the breath, and notice if you have any restrictions in airflow. Again, just noticing that our bodies are not balanced. And then if it feels appropriate, lifting that right arm up overhead, turning the right pinky finger down so that you can feel the broadening through the right shoulder blade. And then breathe 5 deep breaths into that right side rib cage. Slowing the breath down. And eliminating that pause at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale, fluid breath. Last full breath here. Good. As you inhale, take that counter twist, right hand comes down, left arm lifts up and over, gently lean to the right. Stay for the exhale and take one more full round of breath. Beautiful. Come upright, turn toward the top of your mat, come on to hands and knees. Tucking the toes behind you, go ahead and bring the forearms down to the mat. So this is kind of a supported tabletop with the forearms down. So making the number 11 with the forearms, there's a slight external rotation, but you feel supported through the shoulder girdle. And we're going to come into cat back here. So tucking the pelvis, breathing in, separating the shoulder blades, tuck the chin to the chest, gaze at the navel. We're going to stay here and breathe for 5 deep breaths. Really pressing down, maybe pressing down to the shins and untucking the toes, pulling the belly in. Working the breath as you separate the shoulders. Really pressing the rib cage up toward the ceiling. Last 3 breaths here. Full exhale. At the bottom of your next exhale, bring the hands back underneath. Come into traditional tabletop posture here and just wash it out with a few rounds of cat and cow. Just linking your breath with your movement, feeling free to stay in either posture or just exploring the spine. And then when you're ready, you're going to come to a neutral spine. We're going to do some scapular rotation. So we're going to work the shoulder blades. So I want you to find that everything's supported, like you feel the shoulder blades are flat on the back. And then I want you to drop the chest through the plane of the shoulder blades and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Drop the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Press down to the hands, separate the shoulder blades, make that full rotation, feeling the shoulder blades separate, almost like the shoulders come forward, and then drop the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Drop the shoulder blades down the back, trying to find that full circular rotation. Shoulder blades come wide, still gazing down toward those thumbs. Go drop the chest through the plane of the shoulder, squeeze the shoulder blades, drop the shoulder blades down the back. Press the shoulder blades apart. And come into child's pose. Take the knees wide, bring the toes together, bring the arms forward, and breathe. Letting the belly be soft, letting the forehead rest, letting the arms relax. Beautiful. And when you're ready, come back into tabletop, hands and knees. Keep the left hand and the left knee down, but pivot on the left shin. All right, so the left shin comes off the mat and turn toward the long side of the mat, extending the right leg long. So I've got my left hand, my left knee and shin down on the earth, and squeeze the left glute slightly. Drop the left shoulder down away from the ear so you feel some elongation through the back of the head. Drop the chin. Lift the right arm up. Find that there and breathe. Turn the right pinky finger down, reach long up overhead, find some arch, engaging the left lower side waist to find expansion through that whole right line of the body. Keep squeezing that left glute, keep pressing the hips forward. Right, at the inhale, lift the left arm back up, and now float the right leg just to hip height. Notice that there, squeeze the left glute. Breathe, find balance. Maybe the toes need to be tucked, or maybe you need to support that knee, being gentle with our knees. And then if it's available, bend into the right knee, reach for the top of the right foot. Find that connection there, and then begin to kick into the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back, opening in the right side of the chest. Breathe here. Maybe you want to flip the grip, turning the thumb up as you kick in and opening through that right pec muscle. The right bicep opens. Full breath in here. Full breath out. And then gently release. Bring both hands down. Both knees are down. Bring the right arm forward. Thumb up, pinky down. Look at the right thumb. Watch it as you pivot, twist toward the right. Find big, expansive stretch, leaving that right arm straight above the shoulder as you inhale. And then thread the needle. Stretch the back of the shoulder as you exhale. Threading the right arm through. Take any variation that feels good. Maybe extending the left toes. Putting a little pressure on the back of the right shoulder to feel the right scapula extend and stretch. Breathing slowly here. Beautiful. Take another full round of breath, breathing in through the nose. Audible exhale, soften, let it go. Knee comes down, hands come back underneath the shoulders. Again, wash that away with a few rounds of cat and cow. Maybe you take this into some barrel rolls or invite other movements that might feel good in the body. And then we're going to do those scapular cars or rotations, but in the opposite direction. Taking another breath or two on your own. And then come to that supported neutral spine again. So gazing straight down below the nose. This time I want you to press the shoulder blades apart. Bring the shoulders up by the ears. Bring them down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then complete that rotation, pressing them down and around. So this time we're gonna press the earth away. Shoulders are gonna come up by the ears. We're going in the opposite direction as you squeeze the shoulder blades together down the back. Finding that full rotation, press the earth away, separate the shoulder blades, bring the shoulders up by the ears, bringing them down the back. Squeezing them together one more time, press the earth away, protract the shoulder blades, bring them up by the ears and then down away from the ears, retract the shoulder blades. And this time come to puppy dog pose. So keeping the hips above the knees, bring the arms forward, forearms stay off the mat. Start to invite the chest, the forehead down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly on the back so that you allow the chest, the collarbone to be wide, the chest to open. Let the belly be soft. Breathe deep. On your next inhalation, walking the hands back till they're underneath the shoulders. This time, I'm going to pivot towards you, but go ahead and bring the right hand down on the right knee. Extend the left leg long and come to that supported side plank again. I'm just going to continue facing you. Squeeze that right glute. Draw the right shoulder down away from the ears. Feel the chest open up and lift that left arm straight above the left shoulder. Feel the outer left foot press down into the earth. Squeeze the glutes and the hips forward. And then with the pinky finger down, lift that left arm up and over the head. So really turning that pinky finger down, the tricep almost comes in front of the face slightly so that you feel that shoulder blades start to broaden along the back. Breathe deeply here. Notice if that right knee is under the hip or if you're leaning in any way, leveling that out. Inhale, reach the left arm straight up, find support there, and then float the left leg. Notice that left outer hip kick on. Beautiful. And then bending the left knee, reaching around for the top of the foot. So kick into the hand ever so slightly, opening up the front of the left hip, opening the left shoulder. Breathe. And then maybe you want to flip the grip, turning the left thumb up as you open up the chest and the left bicep. 3 breaths. Keep squeezing that right glute, keep pressing the hips forward, keep drawing that right shoulder down away from the ears. 1 more full breath here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, gently release. Hands come down, knees come down, tabletop posture. And then look at the left thumb, bring the left thumb forward. Turn the head and the heart toward the left, looking straight up toward that left hand. And then let the gaze follow the hand, thread the needle, left shoulder, left temple comes down onto the earth. Take any variation that feels comfortable in your body, any support. Get that nice stretch to the left shoulder. Breathe, softening the gaze, even closing the eyes, taking that opportunity to go inside. Notice any mindset shifts or body shifts as we start to move energy. Right? We're exchanging energy all the time, prana, energy in and out. We have the ability to change our tissues, to change our energy, bringing our attention there. Full deep breath in and breath out. Knees down, hands down. Coming to your first downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, aligning the feet and hands so that they're on the same plane. Pedaling out the knees. Turning the triceps down so that you feel the shoulder blades broaden, the collarbones widen, press evenly between all 10 fingers. Notice if you're rotating any weight into that pinky edge, it's very common. So rock a little weight into that thumb and forefinger. Then looking at the heels, see if you can get the heels to disappear so that you slightly turn the inner thighs up and back, soft bend in the knees, gazing at the shins now, elongating the neck. Gaze at the thighs now, and then maybe gaze toward that navel. Full deep breath in. Full deep breath out. Exchanging energy, full deep breath in. Full deep breath out. At the bottom of your next exhale, come high up on the toes, look forward in between the hands and just walk the feet all the way up. Bringing the feet about hip distance apart, bring the hands onto the shins, find a halfway lift, lengthen and look forward. So find the shoulder blades draw down and back so you feel the collarbones broaden, and then brace the abdominals in slightly so that you feel the tailbone and head are reaching in opposition. Taking another breath in here, and then exhale, find a forward fold. Bend the knees really generously here. Maybe the belly rests on the thighs. Maybe you rock gently side to side. And then slowly, when you're ready, press firmly down into the feet. Drop the tailbone, round the spine, roll all the way up. Come into Tadasana, feet underneath the hips. Feeling the four corners of the feet, let the hands extend down by the hips. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, start to goal post the arms. I want you to start to ignite the biceps, just almost feel it, and then make fists with the hands. So the arms get really strong. And as if you were trying to bring the elbows back behind the body, start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. And now drop the tailbone slightly down toward the heels. Keep squeezing the elbows back behind the body, breathe. Drop the chin, elongate the neck, and then bring those floating ribs in slightly. Take another breath here. Stay for the exhale. Light up those biceps. Keep drawing the elbows down. Good. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, take a swan dive and fold. Halfway lift, lengthen, full deep inhale. Bring the hands down. Step the left foot back. Pause there in runner's lunge, bending the right knee. Firm the left thigh. Look forward, lengthen through the spine. Plant the left hand, lift the right arm up. Breathe here. Really press back through that left heel. Feel like the shoulders are reaching in opposition. Take another full breath. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, step the right foot back, find downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Keeping the toes down, bring the knees down below the hips. Lift the tailbone up, find pranam, bring the chest and the chin down, elbows squeeze the rib cage. It's almost like upward facing dog or that cow posture. Slither forward as you inhale, find baby cobra, roll the shoulder blades down away from the ears, press into the hands. As you exhale, chin comes down, press the hips back, find child's pose. And warming up the shoulders, warming up the back. And when you're ready, find downward facing dog. At the bottom of your next exhale, come high up on the toes, look forward, bend the knees, walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift when you get there, inhale. Exhale, fold. Round the spine, root down, rise up, reach the arms up overhead. Make those fists, open the elbows wide, draw the elbows back behind the rib cage. Close the front ribs, lengthen the tailbone, squeeze the biceps, breathe for 5. 4, opening up the chest. 3, 2, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Halfway lift, lengthen, look forward. This time, bring the hands down, step the right foot back behind the right hand. Really press back through that right heel, plant the right hand, lift the left arm up. Breathe. Draw that right shoulder down away from the ears, really lift with that left hand. It's okay if that right hip dips a little bit, giving space for the low back, but really press firmly through that right heel, squeezing the right quad. Breathing here. On the next exhalation, bring the left hand down, step the left foot back, plank pose, lower down the knees, tip the tailbone up, lower the chest and chin, pranam. Inhale, slither forward, low cobra. Draw the shoulder blades down away from the ears, top of the feet go flat. Exhale, find your way into child's pose. Beautiful work. Let's find a restorative posture. When you're ready, just roll up, find your way to your blanket or towel. And this time we're gonna roll it up like a log. So mine tends to be pretty thick. You want about, I don't know, a 6-inch roll maybe, if you have that available. And we're gonna come to sailor's knot. So this is gonna be able to support our chest. So coming onto the belly, this is gonna come underneath the boobs on the lower ribs so that it's giving you a little bit of lift. Let's just come to Sphinx pose here for a moment. So adjusting the roll so that it's below the pecs, below the breasts, underneath, and kind of laying on that lower rib so that you give yourself some natural lift, which is gonna give us a little bit of relief as we come into this shoulder stretch. I like to take my feet wider here so I give space for my low back. And then extend the left arm long, 10th of fingers so that the forearm is up off the mat. Go ahead and thread the right arm all the way underneath and making that line straight across the roll. The right palm is gonna turn up. All right, the left arm is gonna thread underneath that and turning the left palm up. I want you to wiggle this shape away from you so that the chin can start to rest down on the arms. If you need a little bit more lift, you can always add a little second blanket or even a bolster, would give you a little bit more support. Or if the forehead doesn't, or the chin doesn't come down, you can even put a block underneath the forehead, maybe on the highest height. And just let gravity take hold, come back to the breath. Maybe eliminating fully the pause between the inhale and exhale. And then check in. Where's the mind wandered? Where is it gone? Can you stay in your practice for just a few more minutes? Can you soften the jaw? Soften the face? Soften the belly? Take 5 more breaths. Stay with it. One more full breath in. Maybe an audible sigh, let it go. Gently unravel the shoulders. Bring the elbows back underneath. The shoulders coming into Sphinx posture. Give it a moment. There was deep compression through the front of the shoulders. And then extend the right arm out into goal pose, keeping that blanket underneath the rib cage. Just begin to roll to the right. Stretch through the right side of the pec. It should feel pretty good. So you're making a letter L with the right side. Maybe that left foot comes up and back, or maybe the knees come together if that feels better on the back. Just letting the head rest down. We're not here for too long. Taking another breath. And then roll back in through center. Take it to the left side. The left arm is going to come out like a goal pose, just leaning off to the left. Maybe that right foot comes back behind, stretching through the left side of the chest. On inhaling, coming back through center, coming back into Sphinx posture, adjusting the body so that that roll again is on that lowest rib, those kind of floating ribs there. Elbows come back underneath the shoulders. And then extending the right arm straight out, tenting the right palm, thread the left arm underneath the body. So straight underneath, so you start to feel that separation of the left shoulder blade. And then extend the right arm across, making an X or a T. This is called sailor's knot. You can see how that works. And then notice the difference here. See if you can rest the chin downward. Coming into your breath right away. Relaxing the lower body. Just let gravity assist you here. We're here for about a minute. Beautiful work. Stay with it. Give me 5 more deep breaths. Where can you let go? What are you still holding on to or gripping? Surrender into the posture. Feel the unraveling of tension, the unraveling of the doing, to just exist and breathe. Last 3 breaths. Full breath in. Audible exhale, sigh it out. Very slowly and mindfully, just gently unravel the arms. Coming back into Sphinx for a moment. This time we'll go to the left, taking the left forearm out, making that letter L, making that goalpost, leaning toward the left, stretching the left side of the chest. And then rolling through center, taking the right elbow, forearm, and wrist down, making a goalpost with the right, stretching through the right side. Beautiful work. Coming back in through center. You have made it. We're in the home stretch. Just pressing up on the tabletop. Bringing the knees underneath the hips. We're going to take this back into almost like a block shape. We're going to use it to stabilize our hips and go through our last little posture here. So congratulations, you made it. Notice, maybe take a few shoulder rolls or goalposts and notice if you feel any difference or any freedom through the chest and shoulders. And when you're ready, go ahead and lie on your back. Bringing that blanket with you, you're going to place it into the knees and lie all the way over to the right side. So I'm stacking the hips, stacking the pelvis. I'm extending my right arm straight out from my shoulder and my head is down on the mat. Bringing the left hand to meet it. I want you to look at the left thumb. We're going to make a big circle. So coming up over the head, like a half of a rainbow, reaching up overhead, the right arm stays. And then watch it as you watch that left thumb reach all the way over to the left. Opening up the left side of the rib cage. Take a full breath here. The left arm is going to come straight across the chest. Watch the thumb as it comes. Make a high five to the right hand. We're going to do that twice more. So watch the thumb. See if you can watch it all the way up over your head. Notice where you miss it. Open up the chest and the heart. Keep squeezing the blanket. Keep the pelvis neutral. Take a full breath. Exhale. Close everything together. Left hand comes to meet the right. Gaze toward the right. Last time here. Breathe in. Big half of a rainbow. Looking up and over. And stay, soften into this twist. Soften that left shoulder. Soften the left side of the waist. Keep squeezing the block, but think of pressing the left hip away. Last full breath here. Bring the head to neutral. Bring the knees in through center and take that whole shape over to the left. So I like to wiggle my body into the center of the mat. Now I can stack my hips, bringing my knees in a little closer to my chest, extending the left arm straight out from the shoulder like a letter T, and then bringing the right arm to meet it. Gazing at that right thumb, take that half of a rainbow, look at that right thumb as it makes that half of a rainbow, opening up the palm, leaning toward the right, gaze toward the right, breathe, keep squeezing the blanket. As you exhale, close the right palm to meet the left, watch the right thumb, high five the left hand, inhale, open up. Find that half of a rainbow, twisting open, keeping the hips neutral. Exhale, close it together, bringing the right hand to meet the left. Last time here, we'll stay in the twist. Inhale, reach that right arm up and over. All the way to the right, gaze at the right thumb, open the right side of the chest, and then soften the right shoulder down. Keeping the hips to the left, keeping the knees to the left. Think of lifting or lengthening that top of the right hip away from the lower right rib cage. Last full breath here. And full exhale. Just go ahead and close everything to the left and then press yourself up to seated. We're going to end with a few moments of just silent reflection or concentration or meditation, if you want to call it that. Or if Shavasana is more serving you, by all means, take that in your space. That blanket or towel is already kind of rolled up. So I like to place it just right underneath my hips. So I want you to notice the natural tendency of how you cross the legs. And I want you to uncross and recross in a different position. I know. Always switching things up. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And I want you to find length through the front of the body. So gently lifting up the heart, broadening the collarbone. Find this ascending quality through the front of the body. Now find a descending quality. Feel the shoulder blades drop down the back. Feel the tailbone drop down to the earth. Feel the groundingness and weightiness of the hips. Dropping the chin slightly. Feel length through the back of the neck. And feel like the crown of the head, the top of the head is lifting up toward the sky. Continuing this kind of grounding with the lower body and lifting up of the spine and the head. And just for a few moments, we're going to use the mantra on the inhale. Just breathe in, saying silently to yourself as you breathe in. And breathe out as you exhale, repeating silently to yourself. Continuing this pattern of repeating the words, breathe in on the inhale and breathe out on the exhale. This gentle acknowledgement that you are breathing in and out. This acknowledgement of bringing our mind and our focus to the breath, that we unite the head and heart into the present moment. For we cannot breathe in the past and we cannot breathe for ourselves in the future. The breath is our true anchor in reality. Continuing, repeating the words, breathe in on the exhale, breathe out on the exhale. Checking in with your posture, still finding that lifting quality through the collarbones, through the crown of the head, and that grounding quality through the shoulder blades and tailbone and hips. Finally, taking another round of breath, or 3. Gently allowing the eyes to flutter open, bringing the hands in the center of your chest, bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste. As always, I'm so grateful that you showed up on your mat. If you like this video, give it a like, reach out to me on the community feature in the app. I'd love to know what kind of practices you are looking for. You can always reach out to me on Instagram at @the_zen_mommy. Have a very blessed day. Namaste.